Thank you to Zillow for sponsoring today's episode. We're breaking down who's living and who's dying in Avengers Infinity War. We're outside one of the greatest estates in Los Angeles, the real-life murder house featured in American Horror Story, aka the Alfred Rosenheim Mansion, which you can find on Zillow, and it got us thinking about whose ticket is going to get punched in Marvel's next team-up flick. So, in honor of this historic murder house, we're rounding up all of the latest rumors, set pics, and oops, I shouldn't have said that, from the cast and crew to tell us who's getting killed in action in Avengers Infinity War. But before we start busting out the death certificates, let's go ahead and get that big old spoiler warning out of the way. Oh, there you go. First up on our list of probably not going to make it to the credits is Thanos' adopted daughter Nebula. While Guardians 2 may have seen the purple-skinned alien promoted from antagonist to uneasy ally, her character arc has ultimately been about killing Thanos. Now, if the Infinity Gauntlet comic is any indication, she will have a significant part to play in the movie. However, being the one to kill Thanos will be left to other Marvel A-listers, leaving Nebula to be a tragic sacrifice. And speaking of the Guardians, what are their chances of survival? Well, pretty good. James Gunn has said that he wants to finish out the current iteration of the Guardians with Volume 3, and it seems quite unlikely that he would let Star-Lord, Rocket, Groot, Gamora, or Drax dip out before he had a chance to finish their story. Permadeath is not in the cards for these five. But let's move on to our Earthbound heroes, specifically Iron Man. Robert Downey Jr. has always said that he wants to step out of the iron suit before it's embarrassing, and Infinity War could give him the perfect opportunity to fly out on top. As for everyone's favorite Jason Bourne villain, Hawkeye, unless Marvel is trolling us, we're pretty sure that Hawkeye will live, especially since he's currently shooting Avengers 4. This evidence came to us courtesy of Jeremy Renner's Instagram of his fresh new do from last month. So what about Iron Man's personal Siri turned hero Vision? Well, you could say our vision is clouded about his fate. Considering he has a Mind Stone stamped into his forehead and Thanos needs said stone to complete the Infinity Gauntlet. That makes his chances of surviving the Infinity War somewhere between slim and none. That said, Vision actor Paul Bettany recently let it slip that he still had Avengers 4 to film. Of course, this could be a next-level redirect to hide his character's death a la Yondu, being spotted on the Infinity War set to mask his death in Guardians 2. So who knows? And what about Vision's girlfriend Scarlet Witch? We think that with her brother dying in Age of Ultron, it might be a bit much to kill off both of the Maximoffs in the MCU. Her chances of survival are pretty high. So let's check in with the only other female Avenger, Black Widow. Her blonde wig in the Infinity War poster tells us that she went into hiding after the events of Captain America Civil War. Now, if there's one thing we know about Natasha, it's that she is a survivor, and honestly, we'd be pissed if they kill her off before we get our Black Widow standalone flick. Status? Most likely alive. What about Thor and Hulk? Well, despite the fact that their next film is called Ragnarok, based on all of the positive buzz surrounding the flick, it's unlikely that Marvel is about to throw all of that goodwill to the wayside by killing their new bromantic duo. And with social hype surrounding Black Panther, an early exit for him seems equally unlikely. Next on our list is our friendly neighborhood Spider-Man. Verdict? Spidey lives. Marvel head Kevin Feige has already confirmed that the web slinger is the face of the franchise post-Infinity War and Avengers 4, with Spider-Man Homecoming 2 being the first film out of the gate for Marvel's Phase 4. Enough said. And what about Spidey's fellow New York resident, everyone's favorite Sorcerer Supreme, Dr. Strange? We think he'll make the cut. He's currently shooting Avengers 4, and if Iron Man is done after Infinity War proper, then who best to step into the role of lead goatee bro? And finally, that leaves us with old stars and stripes himself, Captain America. Now, we've known that Chris Evans has been ready to hang up the shield for a while now, and that Sebastian Stan, aka the Winter Soldier, has been waiting in the wings to pick it up. With Evans' contractual obligations to the MCU coming to a close, this would be the perfect time to go out on a high note. Plus, with Bucky eventually donning the red, white, and blue in the comics, along with the confirmation that this would happen from Stan himself, we think this means good night and good luck for Steve Rogers. So what do you folks think? Who do you think will live or die by the end of Infinity War? What about all of the other 68,000 MCU characters? Let's discuss. And thank you again to Zillow for sponsoring today's episode of Nerdist News. If you're looking for your very own cultural landmark like the Rosenheim Mansion behind us with its 6 bedrooms, 6 bathrooms, Peruvian mahogany paneling, and Italian brickwork, or just want something a little simpler, then you will want to check out Zillow. With millions of photos of homes for sale and for rent, historical pricing data, and other tools for home buyers, Zillow, find your way home.